Ovechkin ties Gretzky's all-time record of 894 NHL goals. Alex Ovechkin, a Russian ice hockey player, scored his 894th goal in his career, becoming him the league's joint highest scorer ever. Canadian Hall of Famer Wayne Gretzky, whose record was unbeatable for 26 years, is now matched with the Washington Capitals player. In the third quarter, Ovechkin, 39, scored a power play to put the Capitals ahead of the Chicago Blackhawks 4-3. When he broke the record on Friday night with his second goal of the game, teammates surrounded him. Ovechkin fractured his leg in November, which cut short his season for several weeks, making his accomplishment all the more impressive. "It means a lot," Ovechkin remarked in an interview just after the game on Friday, expressing gratitude to his family and supporters. "It's so emotional right now. You never imagined that you would accomplish that goal." The audience also cheered for Gretzky, who was there at the Capital One Arena to see his record being broken. When the Caps take on the New York Islanders on Sunday, Ovechkin will have the opportunity to record the most goals ever scored. In the proper manner, Alex Ovechkin hopes to surpass Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals record. The Washington Capitals player had a chance to complete a hat trick in addition to scoring his record-breaking 895th goal in his career. He tied Gretzky at 894 with 2 goals early in the third period, but Chicago withdrew its goalkeeper when it was down 4-3 and offered him a great chance with an empty net. After the game, Ovechkin was spotted telling Spencer Carberry, the head coach of Washington, that he didn't want to enter. Given that Ovechkin's next goal will be a highlight reel for decades to come, the choice seemed logical. That should not be an empty netter. Ryan Leonard, a rookie with the Capitals who scored his first goal in his third game, was one player who did remain in. Through Chicago substituted goaltender Spencer Knight, Ovechkin returned to the game and almost scored the hat trick. He came dangerously close to breaking the record with 4 shot attempts in the last 2 minutes, but Knight had other ideas. Knight was jeered by the Capital One Arena audience for his attempts. Capitals won 5-3, but Ovechkin did not get the hat trick. With 6 games left in the regular season, he will have another chance to overtake Gretzky on Sunday when he travels to play the New York Islanders. He will have to wait until Thursday against the Carolina Hurricanes if he wants to play at home. It's no surprise that Ovechkin only intends to break a record that has held for 2.5 decades with a goalie in front of him, since the whole situation obviously means a lot to him. Until he does, Gretzky and NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman will keep an eye on him, and Gretzky will encourage him. Although hockey records are revered, even the most resilient ones may ultimately fall apart. It looked like a permanent mark when Wayne Douglas Gretzky shattered Gordie Howe's record in 1994. However, Alexander Ovechkin is just 2 goals away from rewriting the record books as the 2024-25 NHL season comes to a close. One question remains in everyone's thoughts. Can the Russian left-winger be able to leave his mark on NHL record books? With 2 goals in his NHL debut against the Columbus Blue Jackets in 2005, Alexander Ovechkin began his journey to superstardom. His left face-off circle go-to-one-timer was shortly named by Washington's coaches, and he has since destroyed goalies from that area. Wayne Gretzky and Alex Ovechkin are on same footing. For the time being. On Friday night against Chicago, the Washington Capitals star tied Wayne Gretzky's all-time NHL record with his 893rd and 894th goals of his career. With 6 games remaining, he can shatter a record that has stood for 2.5 decades. With help from Dylan Strome and John Carlson, the Capitals star scored his first goal of the evening on a one-timer, see video above. A 3-3 draw was broken by the record-tying one in the third quarter. With 1 game remaining, Ovechkin overtook Gretzky, hitting 894 in 1,486 games compared to Gretzky's 1,487. But in his 1,479th game, Gretzky scored his 894th goal. In an interview after the game-tying goal, Gretzky praised Ovechkin, saying he was great for the game, great for Washington, great for his own country. Everyone in the audience, including Gretzky, wanted to see Ovechkin break the record with a hat trick, even if matching the mark with 2 goals was entertaining. With many attempts on goal in the last few minutes, he undoubtedly had his moments. When Chicago goaltender Spencer Knight refused to comply, the Capital One Arena crowd jeered. He did, however, turn down an opportunity to break the record late in the game when Chicago withdrew their goaltender and he refused to get on the ice. On an empty net, he has no desire to beat the record. However, Ovechkin's 136th goal ended a tie with Jaromir Jagr for the most game-winning goals ever, making him the all-time leader. Gretzky had 91 when he retired. Sunday's road game against the New York Islanders will be Ovechkin's next opportunity to shatter the all-time goals record. Second Thursday against the Carolina Hurricanes will be his second chance to make a splash at home. It is impossible to undervalue Alex Ovechkin's longevity. For the 14th time in his 20-year NHL career, Ovechkin scored 40 goals in a season, including his first goal. He is now in third place in terms of goals scored this season and is probably not going to win the 10th Maurice "Rocket" Richard Trophy. With 52 goals, Edmonton Oilers star Leon Draisaitl leads the NHL. The only player in NHL history to reach 40 goals 3 times after turning 35 is Ovechkin. In his 30s, he has had as many seasons with 40 goals as he had in his 20s. 6 games remain in the regular season for the Capitals, who lead the Eastern Conference. The Great One has started going to every Capitals game with NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman until the record is broken, now that Ovechkin is within striking distance of Gretzky's record. Despite playing at least 9 less games than all of the other players in the top 10, Ovechkin is ranked third on the NHL goals leaderboard. He missed over 5 weeks due to a broken fibula in November, which raised serious questions about whether he would break the record this season. The 39-year-old has scored 25 goals and provided 17 assists in 42 games since returning. He is unlikely to stay with the Capitals once his contract expires, which is still 1 year away. It is a question of when rather than if he breaks the record, even if he remains scoreless for the remainder of the season. Fans of the Great Eight could hardly ask for a better setting than to see a team contend for the President's Trophy at the conclusion of the season. Capitals' remaining schedule. Sunday, April 6, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time at Islanders. Thursday, April 10th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time versus Carolina. Columbus, Saturday, April 12th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Versus Columbus, Sunday, April 13th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Tuesday, April 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time at Islanders. Thursday, April 17th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time in Pittsburgh.